Pete, we went to the rock show. We went backstage for a bit. We came home, and we had a Skype conference call with my girlfriend. What a time, eh? What a great...
Sydney's incredible.
Yes, and then we slept until 1 today together.
That's a very important fact.
In the same bed 2 nights in a row.
We didn't even question it.
Yeah,
We just went to bed. It wasn't like, oh, what's the sleeping arrangement? It was just like, night.
Yeah. There was no... It's a big bed, and I'm trying to get rid of it.
I'm not sure if you were awake when you did it, or if it was just like something in your sleep. You gave me a cuddle at one point.
Did I?
Yeah. I thought you were fucking around, like having a laugh. You actually gave me a cuddle.
Oh, did I? Oh, fuck. I don't remember that at all. That's fucked. Oh, God.
Yeah, I thought it was only like it was a second. Like, I think you like subconsciously realised.
Oh.
It's like, that's not Bridget.
You grabbed your titties when you did it. He grabbed his titties.
The Singer Boys are here to speak all of their thoughts on the Big Mac Theory. Rob has an opinion, Vorn has an opinion, Pete probably has one too. But most of all, Rob has an opinion.
Wow. It's been a while, but the Bazinga Boys are back!
We're back again.
Oh,
G'day,
I already
everyone.
made a peek. I'm sorry. The Bazinga Boys are back!
We are back, and I was going to start with I bet you made a peek, but you got straight into it.
Yeah, I'm a peaky boy. Just so people know where we're at right now, this is really exciting for me because I got my buddy Pete, who's from Perth, but right now he's here in Sydney, live in studio in my room. How's my room, Pete?
It's great, mate. There's heaps of room. I'm sat on the bed that we shared last night and the night before.
Well, did I grope you on the first night?
Yeah.
And really, on the first night?
No. Both nights have bled into one as a horrible nightmare.
Whoa, I'm not that bad of a bed partner. Hey, okay, to be 100% on the record, fully just honest here, I had an erection both mornings, and I just made sure my erection was poked right at the wall, nowhere near you, because I didn't want you to have my boner in your back.
Thanks, Vorn. You're very
I'm a generous...
accommodating.
That is,
I know.
that is friendship.
That's on my Airbnb. If anyone wants to come on, I'm like, won't poke you with my boner. Rob, do you want to... I was going to tell you a story, but this might be podcast worthy. I'm going to tell you a story about spending time with Vorn in Sydney. So Pete came over here all the way to Sydney to friggin', I don't know, to hang out. Come see a
My
gig.
sister lives over here. I wanted to hang out with you, Vorn, my friend Lou, and some other guys.
Yeah, and also there was like a rock concert on that you wanted to see.
Rock and roll concert.
A rock and roll.
Rock metal.
I think they call it a gig in the industry. And so he booked his flights, and I don't know how we fucked this up, but he arrived the day after I left to go document this tour. So he's just been spending his time in my room alone. Well, apart from some ghosts. Do you want to explain my house to the people who are listening to this stupid podcast?
From what I gather, Vorn house shares with 2 ghosts. They're never here, but they have been here in the last week or so since I've been here, because it's kind of like I'll move a sauce bottle, and then the sauce bottle will be moved back.
What a great example.
Or I'll switch a light on, and then the light will be switched off when I'm come back into the room. So it's just
But you won't
it's like
see
living
anyone.
with poltergeists.
Yeah, poltergeists.
Yeah. Poltergeists? Is that
What? Poltergeist, you knob.
Poltergeists.
So, in this time, he's been spending time in my haunted house, in my crack den, going through my shit, with my creepy, weird shrine. And also, he's had a friend who's looked after him way better than me, because I haven't been here. He's had a lovely friend who you met once before, and you just...
About 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago, and how did you meet her and stuff?
Stayed in contact over Facebook, the internet.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'll clear my schedule, I'll show you around town.
Yeah, this girl just fucking cleared a schedule, took him to sick restaurants that I haven't even been to, and I've been living here. Took her, and when I got back from tour, I was wrecked, and he's like, hey, lockout laws in Sydney, you cannot enter a bar after 1:30. It's like illegal. And
Is that every
he was
bar,
up
or is it just in a certain area?
in a certain area? And within that we were within that area, and he was able to get her to break the law for me to get upstairs to this bar that was closed, where we had some beers and we were given some free party enhancers, some party supplies for free. It was really what a kind, generous.
And you didn't see any violence because of thankfully to the lockout laws. There was
Well,
no
there was
violence.
maybe
we were safe inside.
we were safe inside.
All the violence was going on outside.
And so, after being treated so hospitably well,
Hospitality.
after being treated so well, I went on to offend Pete's friend immensely, to the point where the whole table was silent and we were just having an argument, sort of. So, we're talking about contraception, and
Pull out.
yeah, we're talking about that, and we're talking about how,
It's a viable option.
yeah, just control your roll, and then just pull out and blow on to a pillowcase. No, so
Shrub head reference.
yeah, do you know what I'm gonna get? Because I don't know if he's even gonna listen to this. But for his birthday, I'm getting like a pillowcase made with my face on it, looking sad, saying I'm sorry, and then I'm gonna just give that to him.
You should just give him a
for his
pillowcase of the girl's face.
I don't know what she looks like anymore. Gee, this is so bad.
Don't all women look the same? To quote you, Vorn.
Well, we took an Uber together the other day, and I was just saying the most misogynistic stuff in the car, and I was like, how about them women, eh?
We're in an Uber.
Yeah,
We're in an Uber with this really lovely guy. I think his name was Muhammad.
Yeah.
5 stars, Muhammad.
And-
Top job.
And I was just like, women, you can't live with them.
And then the longest pause.
So anyway, that was coming after this story. So we went up there and we were just having a conversation about contraception and stuff, and we're talking about how stupid dental dams are. Because hey, have you ever used a dental dam, Rob?
No, I thought they were just made for movies.
What movie have you seen where
Like Mean Girls,
a
like-
sex scene, and it's all getting emotional and steamy. The candles are lit, the wine's being poured, the dental dam is being taken out of its glad wrap roll. I'm assuming that's how they come in.
I see dental.
and gently being
I
placed
see dental dam
over
as
the
the
mound.
like front cover of the Frighteners, where that face is coming through that rubbery
Pushing
wall.
through the VHS.
Yeah.
cover.
That's actually a good reference. Oh wow, that's a really good one. Anyway,
Is it even...
sorry?
I don't know, if you cheated on your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever, if you use a dental dam, is it even cheating?
Yeah, it doesn't count. It's like, it's more, I think your significant other would just feel sorry for you. Like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry that happened to you. Do you need some help? Like, I just feel bad that happened to you.
Vaughn, explain what
Anyway,
a dental dam is.
If
Explain
anyone
what a
out
dental
there
dam is in your
that's
words,
listening
Vaughn.
to this has used a dental dam, can you please leave some comments
Oh,
below?
yeah, that would be sick. Like, what happened? What was it like? Are you a fan of fruit roll-ups?
Or the packaging that fruit roll-ups come in.
So, we were talking about all this stuff, and I was talking about how like a lot of the time back in the day when I was a rugged youth, just didn't use condoms because I was just an idiot, and it felt better, which it does. And I said, I was like very lucky to never get an STD. She was like, what about pregnancy? The worst STD. I'm like, yeah.
Worse than AIDS?
Girls have the pill, and girls have, you know, that sort of dog chip thing that they put in dogs, but they put in girls.
Yeah.
And it was just an absurdist comment like, hey, chips get also put in dogs and girls. And she's like, you realize that's not the same thing, right? And I'm like, you realize it's a tracking device for dogs. I'm like, I thought it was like a tracking device for girls as well, so the mum could see when they're about to have sex and come in and stop. And that's how the contraceptive works. She's like, no, that's not okay. That's not funny. And I was like, oh, no, I was just joking. Like, she's like,
And then Vorn continued to
defend
defend
my
his
comment
comments.
that women get dog chips implanted in their arm. And she got very offended and very angry at me that I would ever compare a woman to a dog. And I was like, I'm just saying it's an absurd thing.
Yeah, but I've seen you just say so much work. Like, that's not even bad. Like, it's just someone wanting to be defensive and just starting a shitty thing. But I've seen you say much more offensive things to people you've just met who've found it funny.
Yeah.
Well-
Oh, that was. When I went to PAX with some friends. There was this very like strong female like person in the industry who did this speech, and one of my friends was very. He's just like he is like a giant feminist himself, and he went and he stopped working just to see her speech, and he met her afterwards and he spoke to her, and as he was talking to her, he was kind of drunk, and she goes, "I'm gonna have to stop you there. Don't call me babe or something."
It was.
He goes,
I wasn't
"Oh,
babe. I
don't
remember you
saying
posting
that."
about this. It was something.
Yeah. Yeah,
It wasn't.
something like
It was
that,
something
but
very
turned out
inoffensive, and it was very harmless. And
Yeah.
yeah, I
It
remember
was
you
like
posting
love.
about
I think
this.
it was love because he works at a bar, and he realized later he said love, and because he works at a bar and it's like that thing, and he's like, oh fuck, and he realized he was too drunk to go and explain it and fix the situation, so he kind of just had to leave it and just take it. But it was grinding on him all night that he'd said this offensive thing, and he didn't mean to offend. He's like, that's not me, man. Like, I can understand how it's offensive, and I wish I could fix this, but I'm too drunk to fix it. Meanwhile, later that night, a girl I'd just met was like wanted to go to a toilet, and she wanted to go to the toilet, and she's like, oh, I don't want to be like rude because they're about to close up. I'm like, oh, come on, you cunt, just go do it. And she's like, ah, and then went off and did it. And I was like, how come I'm getting away with calling this girl I just met a cunt, and you said love, and you're dying here, getting ruined and like hating yourself. But yeah, so I'm a very offensive person, but I found out that calling the contraceptive implant a dog chip is not the best of moves. I'm sorry, Pete. I just want to apologize live on air that I'm sorry I offended your friend.
I'm sure my friend will appreciate it.
And while we're on that subject, if you haven't guessed, we're here to watch The Big Bang Theory.
Exactly. While we're on the topic of misogyny, what a great segue into the fucking show we just watched.
So what do we do? Like,
fuck.
yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, so today the first episode of season 9 of Curb Your Enthusiasm came out. So what did we do to celebrate? We watched episode 10 of The Big Bang Theory. Pete, what was it about,
really
Pete?
Bummed.
Okay, so some notes that I took. Penny gets the opportunity to play a character in the stage production of Rent. Leonard and Sheldon hear her sing. She sings bad. These are literally my notes. They get invited to, go hang out and see what she's like live. They create a lie about having to go to a symposium to try and get out of having to go along to their friends.
As you do.
You know what?
Audition.
You're explaining this, and if anyone's listening to him explain this, you go, this sounds like boring hell. It's even worse in the show. Like, this is... You know how we've been saying these episodes go so quickly? Like, oh, there's like only one plot line. It goes so quick. This one felt like an hour. This felt like a feature-length episode.
I'm gonna disagree
droned on.
early. I'm gonna disagree early and say this was one of the more watchable episodes for me.
What? What are you on about?
I don't know. That it was quick-fire dialogue, wasn't funny, but
Oh, wait. Did you laugh?
are we at the laugh count part yet? Because I did.
Yeah,
Well, that's not. We're doing
you
it now.
did.
You laughed.
I laughed at this line, which all right.
Pete and I are pointing at each other because he predicted a laugh from you. Actually, we're in the episode watching it together, and Pete was like, I reckon Rob's going to laugh at that. So what did you laugh at?
I laughed at a comment that Sheldon made. Out of context, doesn't seem funny here. I can't remember where he says, but basically he said, well...
Out of context, it's not funny here. I think you're going to find it's just not funny.
No,
Continue.
no, it was clever writing. I'm digging a hole. Basically, when he was talking about his supposed cousin that he'd created, when Sheldon said he can relapse if Penny invites us to hear her sing again, as in another excuse for them not to sing again, it seemed out of character for Sheldon from what we've seen so far, and I thought it was funny. I laughed. And I'm sorry. I'm ashamed.
You
Yeah.
should be. So to put that into context, I guess the lie that they created was to go to a symposium, to not go to Penny's audition. But then they added another element to the lie, going, we lied about the symposium. We're actually going to Sheldon's, was it cousin?
Yeah.
His intervention because he's a drug addict. It makes no sense. I don't recommend anyone ever watches this episode or this show.
It was a really painful. Like, so you said this episode went quick for you, Rob.
I'm kind of, I guess I'm biased. I hate the other two characters, so I'm kind of I'd rather have Leonard and Sheldon on screen than the other two. So and they were in this a lot, so that's probably why I was less hating on this episode.
So yeah, the episode just is a convoluted lie that just spans for like what felt like an hour of them going, oh, the lie needs to be rejigged. Oh, look, this lie's going out of control. And it's also more characters keep coming into the episode and they need the lie re-explained to them. So they're re-explaining the same thing you've heard over and over. And it was just a nightmare. Like, I kept looking at Pete and just... And, okay, so people might have realised we've had a bit of a break because basically Vorn's been dying. Not really. I've just been busy as fuck. And I've been really excited to come back to this and do like a passion project, which
Instant
I feel
hate.
this is. And then as we were doing this, I was like, "What am I doing with my life?" Like, I was
This is
excited.
passion.
I was excited to come back to this. I've actually got here just life sucks is one of my notes. What are we doing?
I think the worst thing about this episode is that there's no real punchline, but what it thinks is the punchline is when they bring in an actor to play the cousin. And I mean, I was excited to see DJ Qualls. I like it when he pops up, but then
What's wrong with you, Rob? Like, did you get excited when the guy from Road Trip came up?
Yeah, I was like, oh, the skinny guy from Road Trip.
Yeah.
Let's go with
I
the guy
said
from
Road Trip, how the mighty have fallen. And Road Trip's not like the peak of thing, but what's happening? Like, I didn't know. Do you know what I think? His outfit, because he's dressed as a he's acting like a junkie in the episode.
But he just looks like me. He's wearing like denim cut off.
He looks like a skinny you. Like
It was dope.
He looks like, oh no, that's a bad joke to make. He looks like anorexic you.
Yeah, it looked like if me and Ellen DeGeneres shared a wardrobe.
That's a really great visual for a podcast when people don't know what you look like. But the
poster.
like Road Trip wasn't the greatest of all time, but I feel like it's still a big drop down for him. And I'm not sure that was an outfit he was wearing, like the junkie outfit, or just what he was wearing now. Because if he's at that point in his career, he's appearing on Big Bang Theory and putting in a performance like that, I'm pretty sure he must be homeless by now.
He's showing up in
This
a
is
few
like
things.
10
He was
years
in the Jim Jeffries show Legit. He was good in that.
That got cancelled pretty quickly. Return of Stipples. 6 minutes, 40 seconds. Bang.
Did you see him, Rob?
I did not see the stipples. I'm more respectful. I was looking at the eyes.
Do you know what's really good? I like Pete took the bullet there because this is just about how I'm a horrible person with women. But I was the one who was like, Stipples!
Yeah.
and Pete was like taking notes dutifully. And I was like, going, yeah! What I want to know, I've got a question for you guys, is the DJ, the skinny boy from Road Trip, the episode ended on kind of like a, well, we got to keep this lie up. Do you think he'll be a recurring character? Yes or no?
Maybe. I honestly thought that he was gonna be, because he's an actor. He's an actor. He's one of Sheldon's friends who was a physics and theater major, person. I thought Penny was gonna spot him, because she's a failed actress, or attempting to be an actress.
May I just say, that would have been a great writing point. That would have been a really clever little. I'm like, oh, that would have been good writing. Nah, they didn't do that.
No,
Sorry,
didn't go for that
Continue.
one at all. So I'd say he'd come back maybe, because he didn't do much between the Road Trip and the Jim Jeffries TV show.
Hey,
So this was like what, 2007.
You're forgetting that he did Road Trip too.
Oh, was he that thing where they do a movie and they try and do like a
He's like the Eugene Levy of the American Pie Presents.
and they only get one guy back from the
And
original.
all the guys
like
go to him for advice.
Yeah, so basically, DJ Qualls, his character in the second Road Trip, he took over the Tom Green character. So like the people walking people around the school. I think it was called Road Trip Beer Pong or something stupid like
Road
that.
Trip 2.
Just
Wow.
like Van Wilder
Sounds
2
like
and
alright.
3.
Maybe we'll do a special bonus episode watching that.
Young
Only
Sheldon.
other notes I have here is Pete's eyes. Pete's been having some issues with his eyes today. I saw him halfway through the episode. His eyes were all juicy and wet. And I
It was just
like,
good. It was good
is that
writing.
are your eyes just sore from like the disease you have at the moment, or is it just this episode? It shows this is just painful.
Yeah.
And last thing, I got indigestion from this episode, so I went to the toilet afterwards, and I'm just gonna say, I was like, oh, I'll just see if there's anything on the Big Bang Theory Reddit, to see if there's anything to talk about, and the top post on there at the moment is terrible quality podcast about Big Bang Theory, and I got so excited, but it's not about us. So I say, as an aim, can we try and get to be the top post on the Big Bang Theory and just see what kind of response? But it has to happen naturally. We can't.
Fuck it. Just create a fake and post it. Force it. See what happens.
Or just do that.
Okay.
Or just cheat.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, that's fair. Oh, actually, I have one last thing I want to say before we finish up this episode. You're gonna be so annoyed at me. I have in my notes. Did you notice anything? Well, because did you notice anything mentioned about a secret side to Leonard?
Oh, you can go back to the Nazi stuff now, seeing as it's relevant in America.
Yay!
Perfect.
Ahead of the curve. Now it's relevant. It doesn't seem like it's a forced agenda, but obviously Trump's just listening to you and being like, "Hey, this Vorn guy's onto something. Let's get everyone fucking rallying."
Well, yeah, that's so weird that Nazis have become in vogue now, especially after.
Whilst we're not recording.
Like, who could have predicted that? Like, hey, Nazis are back. It's 2017. It's been a long wait, but like, it's like a return.
Hey, fellas, what have you been doing?
Yeah, and
just
they're
hating.
back.
Just hating.
Just hating Jews.
Drawing straight / squiggly lines.
Yeah, it's just the they're not even back with a vengeance. They're back with tiki torches. It's just not threatening at all. So I noticed at the very start of this episode, and because we're 10 years behind or whatever Big Bang Theory's up to, we're so far behind.
We're getting further behind.
I have a really good prediction that Leonard's uprising is what's happening in real life now. I think you're seeing Nazis at Trump rallies right now because Leonard started it in the show.
Yeah, so they would have all been, like, impressionable kids watching this television show and subliminally just getting told and taught to hate.
Yeah.
Through the Big Bang Theory.
It's a
10 years ago,
show.
we're talking, is the final year of what, Bush being president? So this is, yeah, and then Obama comes in and those kids get angry. They get angry, and they've got 8 more years of fucking Big Bang to watch.
Exactly. Just riling them up.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are on my side now, because at the very start of this episode, Sheldon...
I don't say we're on your side. I'm just saying it's like...
I tried to...
As it's topical, it's fine.
I tried to straw man you. And just like, yeah, well, now you'll agree with me. But no. At the very start of the episode, Sheldon hints that Leonard might have some secret violent... Quote, this is a direct quote. He might be a violent sociopath because he lies so easily. So, tell me if I might be wrong that, like, would Nazis be classified as violent sociopaths?
They would. I mean, I think that... Let's go back to the episode quickly away from your topic. Is it meant to be funny that Sheldon... Is it meant to be funny that Sheldon becomes the pathological liar? Or is that like a foreshadow? Is that just some sort of stupid writing? I don't know.
He got a taste. He got a taste of it.
You know, taste.
I think you're thinking more about the writing of the show than the writers even do. I think you're putting more thought into it than they ever did. And the fact that you're asking if it's meant to be funny, I don't think any of that episode was funny. Or
I think it was one of the least painful episodes, and I'm going to stand by that.
Me and Pete shotgunned a fucking beer beforehand, and then we're drinking it all the way through, and we just sat here sad.
I have
Saddest
spent.
I've ever had drinking
I'm
beers
getting
with my
like
friends.
I've got people starting to come over to look at our house to like take over the room. I spent the whole day fucking cleaning toilets and showers and kitchens. So like this was the highlight of my day, was watching that episode. So
That's cool.
Yeah,
It's been a highlight talking to you, mate.
yeah. Speaking to you guys
It's been really
was a
good
fucking
hearing-
downer afterwards. Sorry, you had a Nazi question,
Anyway.
Vorn?
No, like I'm gonna say now we're gonna be back on track. I'm not a busy boy anymore. I actually am, but fuck, I'm gonna keep smashing these out. So if you've got any Bazinga-related agony vunt questions, or what was the other thing we're gonna ask? What were we asking people? What the fuck? What was that thing you asked the people out there? Has anyone else used a dental dam? If anyone's used a dental dam, please let us know because we want to hear some dental dam stories.
Or
maybe that can be a new segment.
Maybe you didn't
Dental
use a
dams
dental
for the
dam.
Bazinga boys.
Maybe you didn't use a dental dam. Maybe you modified a condom to be a dental dam. We want to
Just
hear
let
about
us
it.
know some weird sex shit about you.
Did you put cling wrap on your tongue?
Yeah, make sure you use your Facebook account that in our public group, just so you can ruin any employment opportunities. Or you can email us at, I think it's bazingaboyspodcast.com if you want to be discreet. We'll be very discreet. We'll give you like a pseudonym, a fake name, maybe like something like Carl and Fury. I don't know. Anyway, I've been Vorn, and that's where the Bazinga Boys are back, and I hope you'll love us just as much as you did a couple of months ago.
I've been Pete. It's been beautiful.
I'm Rob, and I'm going to America. See you guys.
Hey, you! Put down that dental dam. There's time for safe sex later. Right now, you can just, I don't know, rate and review our stuff if you want. Otherwise, leave us a comment so we can reply to it. Hey, should we make merch? Like Bazinga Boys t-shirts, Bazinga Boys dental dams, Bazinga Boys contraceptive implants with a little drawing of a dog on it. Because that's all women are to me. Dogs.